Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining me for another Wednesday night Akashic Records After Dark. I am happy to be here, happy to be sharing this work with you and whatever information wants to come through. So, I am going to begin by reading the Akashic Prayer, and then I'll take a second to connect. We will see what messages the guides have for us in general this evening, and then get to a couple of questions we have sent in. Okay. Oh, and what I would ask when I read the prayer, wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, take a moment and close your eyes and just let yourself relax. Hear the prayer, hear the words. See if you notice your vibration shifts a little bit when you listen to the prayer. And then just notice if something pops in your mind, because it could be your guides are giving you a little nudge of something you might want to ask about, whether tonight or another night, doesn't matter. Um, but just let yourself be aware. So go ahead, close your eyes, let yourself relax. If you're sitting and you can let your hands relax with your palms up and open, go ahead and do that because that puts your whole body and your whole state of being in the receptive mode. And who doesn't want to be in that mode, right? Um, so go ahead and take a few deep breaths. Let yourself relax. Feel yourself being open. Feel yourself being present and ready to receive. Okay. All right. I ask God if He will have a shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay, so just take a second here. Keep your eyes closed, let yourself relax. Give me 1 second here. Okay, that way. So, tonight, your guides or the guides, I call them the keepers, record keepers. Okay, whatever. But they're your spirit guides. They're mine. They're people that have passed. They're ascended masters in the universe. I mean, you heard the prayer, so um, I always say pretty much anything and everything in the unseen world is invited to come and share in this work and bring messages for it. So I never know what's going to show up and how it's going to start. Tonight, however, they do want to begin with a message because we still are early into the new year and we're still looking ahead of us, what we want this year to be about, what we want to create, what we want to see happen. And many of us are at different places, in our life's journeys. Some of us are just, getting on the path. Some of us have been on the path for a while. And last week, the guides talked about, setting goals, intentions, and how they kind of look at that, and how we should kind of break that down into, gosh, I think it was like weekly. Did we play enough this week, or did we create something this week? Well, this week, what they want to talk about is a little bit more on that creating, because they want you, to look at yourself as a creator. You are made in the image and likeness of the divine beings that we read about. You are a divine being. You have creative ability, and that means literally and figuratively. So, yes, you can create your life, and yes, you can create things in your life. So, they want to talk about the things that we're creating, and that takes us to dreams that we have, dreams that we've had for ourselves that we want to, someday manifest. And they would like for you to go back to your childhood and think of, what did you want to be when you grew up? What what did you want to do? What really brought you um, joy in your heart? What inspired you? What motivated you? What did you dream of one day doing and becoming? And if you can't remember that from childhood, that's okay. That's always a great place to start. They just want you to connect with a dream that you've had for yourself that maybe you haven't realized yet or actualized yet. And maybe you've told yourself it's just a dream. And they would like for you to know that it's not just a dream and that dreams can happen anytime, that we live in an unlimited universe with unlimited capabilities and opportunities, and miracles happen all day long, every day. And so they want you to begin to shift your attitude around your dream as something that can really happen. And it's like if you dream it, if you see it, you can be it, you can live it. They want you to know that it's never too late to pursue your dreams. You are never too old, you're never too far along your path, and you're not even ever too young. It doesn't matter when you want to move in that direction. What matters is that you move in that direction. And it's so funny. This came to me in a meditation. Now they're saying a lot more about it tonight here on the call. But this morning I was sitting in meditation and I just heard, pursue your dreams. It's never too late. And I was compelled after my meditation to look up people that got a late start in life or in their careers or on their soul's path. And it's funny, who did I find? It was Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Do you know he didn't even start that chain or even open his first restaurant until he was like 62? Judi Dench, the actress, she did not start acting until her 60s. And I think you all know Morgan Freeman didn't even get his first role till he was in his 50s or 50 or something like that. But the one that I think is the coolest is, and hi everybody joining, I'm so glad to see you here. Okay, the one that I think is the coolest is Grandma Moses. Now, if you don't know her, she's a famous painter. And she lived, I think, till she was 101 years old. She did not start painting until I think she was 78. And she became famous. Like when she died, her paintings, I think, were selling some 8,000, some 15,000. And yeah, that's not, grand by a lot of painters' standards today, but still, in her time, that's pretty huge. And do you know from age 78 until she quit painting, she had over 2,000 paintings. And well, anyway, she's famous now. You can look her up. Her paintings are actually pretty cool. But what I thought was really neat too was that, she grew up in a time, when I don't know if it was the Great Depression or even before then, but they didn't have a lot, her family. And then her father would, instead of giving them money as children, he would give them pieces of blank paper and ask them to draw a picture for him. And she said the pictures that they drew were just worth more than gold in her family. And so she had a love of drawing and creating as a child. It was something that, was introduced to her early on, and that love was fostered. She grew up to become hired help for other families. And, she had her own family. She wasn't able to pursue her, creative skills as an artist. But you know what? She did at 78, and now her name is known all over the world. And I thought, oh my gosh, we really are never too old to pursue our dreams. And that is one thing that the guides want to share with everyone tonight, and to give yourself permission to believe in your life, in your journey, in your dreams, and that anything really is possible. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. And if that has to be your mantra for this year, take it. Let it be your mantra that anything is possible. I think what a wonderful message to start out with tonight. Okay, so let me see if they have anything else real quick. they are telling me that many of you have already um, heard in your mind and you know in your heart what your dream is and what you want to do. And they are blessing. This is so cool. This doesn't happen often, actually. They are taking a moment and they are blessing each and every one of your dreams. And they want you to imagine that these divine hands in spirit are over your dream and sending just glitter and sparkles down to it, blessing it with divine energy. And they want you to have that visual so that you know it's kind of been supercharged. And that is a gift that they want to give each and every one of you. Well, how cool is that? That's the first. This is really neat. Okay, so I am going to hop to some questions. Hello, everyone joining. Okay, let me get here. Okay, hang on, y'all. I didn't pull them up yet. Okay. So this is from someone, and she had she has lost her child at a very young age, and you can imagine what someone is. Oh, good! Somebody felt the blessing and the chills. Oh, I love it. I know this was so special. Okay. Anyway, um, she lost her child, and here's her question. In a previous session, you said that Owen would be coming back to us. Do you have more clear timeline of this and how? And if he is coming back, how will we know it's him? Okay, so we did a session and connected with her child, and he just lovely, bright, beautiful being you can imagine, and it does make that loss even harder, you know, which you just can't think it gets more difficult. I think, me personally, and even doing this work, losing a child is probably one of the most difficult things someone can experience in a lifetime. I really do. And it takes great courage to be on that kind of journey. And so the guides are acknowledging all of those of you participating tonight and listening to this message, those of you that have lost a child. They want to acknowledge you, and they want to say thank you, and they want to, now this is, they're giving out gifts tonight. This is really incredible. They are giving me a heart, and they are taking this giant heart, and to each of you that have lost a child tonight, they are giving you this heart, and they are infusing your heart with more heart energy. And they said that your heart in your pain has just grown bigger, and it's allowed you to hold even more because you feel even more. And so those of you that have had this grief are also bringing more heart energy into the world. And I've never had that come through before, so that is really fascinating. And they want to say thank you. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for having the courage to live this lifetime. And they said thank you for being open to this connection with your child in the divine way. Because your child is still here. It is here, he is here, she is here in non-physical. And they appreciate the work you're bringing into this world through suffering that loss. So you have extra heart energy, and they want you to know by default you are bringing more love and feeling and emotion to this great planet. So thank you. Now, as far as Owen, let's see what we hear here. So Owen is funny. He is telling me that he's watching what's going on here on the planet, and he's not sure he wants to be here yet. And he's being funny, he's being silly. He is saying that he is timing it perfectly so that when he does come back and he can be a grown up, that the work he brings in will really help the world. And so he is waiting for a time when that looks ideal. Don't know when that time is yet. They can see in spirit a little further ahead of us and what's going on here and what's shaping up. Sometimes that is communicated to us, sometimes it's not. He's not telling me. Now, one thing he does want to share is how will you recognize him? So he is really grateful that you asked this question, because he said this is something we all need to hear. And he is saying that when any loved one has passed, any person in spirit that we, had the pleasure of living with here, he said one of the things they can do is find ways in all the time, every day, in every way. And he said, how will you know him? He said, you will know him in the 1,000 faces you come across during the day. And he can insert, this goes for all in spirit, insert his personality and his mannerisms into this person over here, that person over here, because he knows who's going to walk by you. He knows who's going to pull up next to you at the stoplight and smile at you. And they're going to have just that twinkle in the eye that he did. It's so sweet. And he is saying you will be in a store and you will hear somebody laugh and it will sound like his laugh. You will hear a song on the radio that says exactly what you need to hear from him in spirit. You may even hear one of his favorite songs. So anything and everything about his personality, even his favorite color, you might see somebody wearing and you think, oh, Owen loved that color, or Owen looks so great in that color. That's how he's showing up for you. We don't think of things like that because we just think, that's, somebody's just wearing that color's common, everybody wears that color. But no, it's not. And those are the subtle ways that our loved ones can continue showing up for us. Now, he knows you meant how will you recognize him when he comes back to you. And he is telling me what he wants you to understand. And this again goes for all of our loved ones in spirit. They can, like I said, insert their personalities into lots of different people and places that you're gonna, run by during your everyday. So when they are coming back fully, as in incarnating again into your life experience, what'll happen is though there will be more of a wholeness. So those parts and pieces of the personality that have been spread out will actually be a little bit more collected. And so you will recognize him because there's going to be so many similarities that it will feel uncanny, and that you will say, gosh, this feels like Owen. And something in you, because you know his soul, will know his soul again. Does that make sense? And that's what he wants you to know. You'll know because you know. The love will be the same. The love will, you will recognize it through that loving, through that knowing. He said, and when you know, you'll laugh at yourself and wonder why you even asked that question. How sweet is that? Okay. I'm going to another question here. Okay. Let's see here. All right. How do I deepen my intuitive sense? In other words, how do I stay tuned into that understanding on a more consistent basis? Well, that is so funny that this question's getting asked, because I had made myself a note, I think earlier this week, that's what I want to write about in my next newsletter. Actually, I might have even put that in there, that I was going to write about it. So how do I deepen my intuitive sense or stay tuned into that understanding on a more consistent basis? Okay. Well, one, they're saying, is to recognize you're intuitive. and to recognize that you know things and you know things. And they said to be okay with admitting that to yourself and admitting that to others, and um, understanding that you really are intuitive. You are intuitive. They said it is like another language, and it's not something you have to deepen. It's something more, they said, to practice, and to practice this intuitive language. Hang on here. So what they are saying is to slow down. In so much of our lives, and so much, and this is not just you in particular, you personally, but so much of what you're doing, each and every one of you, me, can be so mechanical. And again, we look at our days like what we want to get done, what we have to get done, and they are saying they would encourage all of us to slow down. They would like for you to slow down. And instead of just mapping out your day, mapping out your list, mapping out your errands, they would like for you to slow down and be present with whether it's that list or those errands or whatever you're looking at for your day, and become aware of how they feel. Become aware if they feel right for you to do today, or do they feel better put another day. So one of the things they're saying is because we are so mechanical, we often don't feel, and we just go about our ways and our routines and our to-dos, and they would like for us to slow down and really be present with how we feel. It's kind of like that Buddhist practice of eating an apple, and and even how they practice eating in general. It's like taking that bite of an apple. Oh my gosh. And for who asked this question, of course they would bring an apple through. That's so funny. But they are saying it's like taking a bite of that red delicious apple and just savoring that bite, being present with that bite, and tasting the juices, the crispness of the skin as you bite into it, how it crunches, how many chews does it take. They want you to be that present with what you're doing, how you're being. And so if you started your morning, this is so cool. They're saying if you would start your morning with that kind of presence, where you're sitting, whether you're sitting to write, sitting to read, sitting to draw cards, whatever that might be, they want you to take a moment and really bring yourself present. Put your feet on the ground, or if you do, curl them up in the chair. They want you to feel how it feels to be sitting in that chair, to feel the fabric of that chair, or if you have a blanket around you, feel that. They want you to smell the aromas where you are. They want you to look around and see how the light is entering the room, whether it's sunlight or whether it's still dark out. But they want you to be present. What can you see? What can you smell? What can you feel? And when you really start to move through your world, your day, your everything, with your senses fully tuned in, they said this is where you start to learn the intuitive language, because really being intuitive is about feeling, it's about sensing. And so they would tell you to practice with your senses. How do things feel? How do things taste? How do they, smell? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? All of those, because the intuition is like putting all of those senses together and getting the message. It's reading what you're sensing. Well, that's kind of cool. So that's a great question, and something we can all use, and I'll be sure to include some of that in my newsletter. So thank you for asking that. Okay, let me see here. I got one. I saw somewhere, but I cannot find it. If any of you are on and have a question, Y'all, please feel free to type that in. Oop, hang on here. A minute, I got one more. Hold on. I will get a little bit more organized at some point. Okay, here's one. Are there any special messages for me in this new year? Okay, let's see here for you in particular. Are there any special messages? Well, they are saying for you that asked this question, okay, hang on. You have lots of ideas and you have a beautiful and vibrant personality. You already have a big heart, and there's so much, like they are saying, that you want to do and be. And my big floof kitty is coming over here. Do y'all want to see my cat? Binks. Binks, look. See Binks? Hi, buddy. Yeah, thank you for joining. Okay, love the cat energy here. um, so they are saying that there's so much you want to do, and that they would really encourage you to slow down, and just be easy about things and let some of these things come to you, because one of the things they're saying is you've already put a lot in motion, and you've put a lot of ideas out there that are already gaining momentum and building up energy. And they said one of the things that they would like to see you make special this year is relationships. Now, relationships are also very important to you. There's no doubt about that. And you do such a wonderful job with your family. And they would like to see what you are bringing to the community and to your friends for some reason. So, hey, I think you just got kind of an excuse to do a girls' trip or a girls' weekend or something, or maybe start some kind of you know, they're telling me that you're also an uplifter, and you could create a really positive circle with some friends that feels uplifting and hopeful, almost like that's so funny, almost like an optimist club in your area. Man, I bet a lot of us could do that where we live, huh? I'm so glad you asked that question. What a great idea. But that's what they're saying, that you are an uplifter, and they would like to see you use that more. Mm-hmm. Another thing they're saying, that you already have a lot that you want to do, but they are giving you one more thing. And this might be something you move up on your little bucket list of things to do for the year, but they would like for you to be open to studying animal communication. And there's so many wonderful people out there, but they also are telling me to tell you to do your homework before you find someone that you would like to work with and study under. Mm-hmm. Well, how cool is that? Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, now my cousin is typing in, will you check in on the message of my crooked x-ray? Okay. All right, let's see. My big, did you hear my binks? What? You talking? Okay. Let's look at your crooked x-ray. What is the message? Well, one of the things that they're saying, they would rather say crooked feels jagged, and they would call it a bend. And they said that you have spent so much of your life, and especially your adult life, bending for others. And you've been bending this way, because it's easy for you to do, because your heart is so big, and you also have such a fabulous perspective this is what your guides are saying, that it's easy for you to put things in perspective and bend so that somebody else doesn't have to. But they said all of this bending has led to a physical manifestation of a bend in your spine. Now, many of you listening out here need to hear this also, because you want to avoid your own spine bending. And so, again, big thank you for bringing this question forward. So they are telling me that what this year is about for you is straightening that spine. So think about, the spine is what allows you to stand tall and to show your face to the world, to open your chest, and to let your heart, you know, just have full expression. You know, since we're not going to hide anything here because you are my cousin and you did type your question, there is a reason your studio was called Art Wide Open. It is about your heart. And you know, they want you to think of this. They want you to look at your body as an easel that holds a canvas. And that easel has got to be straight, and it's got to be where the canvas can lean back a little bit and feel supported. So you've been trying to support people, yet not like an easel. It's almost like you've taken on too much. That's it. So they want you to look at yourself and look at this year as you are the easel that's learning to stand up straight, but you're holding your own canvas and you're expressing your own art. You're opening your heart wide open, your art wide open. That's, you are living into that phrase this year. This is your time to do that. And you know what? Sometimes you have to manifest a physical condition that makes you put yourself first. And so that's kind of what's going on. No more bending. Other people need to learn how to take care of themselves, if that makes sense. Thank you for that question. Okay, here is my sister. I am still stuck on what I'm supposed to invest in. I'd love some ideas. Okay. Let me see here. I am hearing. Give me a second here. Actually, this. Now, I don't know if it's investing in this year or not, but something that they would like for you to think about. They said that they see you investing in property. Looks like rental property. Could start with a condo, could start with a townhome, could be in a desirable location. I'm not sure, but basically they're showing you getting into more of like an Airbnb business at some point. You might do this with someone else. They said you have the talent and flair to create a beautiful place that people would love to be. And that is one thing to start dreaming about. There's also a business idea. Let me see what this is. There's a business idea. Hang on here. Like investing in a business. Let me see if I can get it. Not yet. Not yet. This is really interesting. Oh, look, she said I was thinking about that. Okay, it's right on. I have to tell you, there's something else. I don't know if where you're going, where you're moving, if you are going, which I think you are, I don't, there's like a need for a chocolate store, they're telling me, like a chocolatier. So I don't know what that's about. But there's something around that. So let that dangle out there too to think about. But definitely the Airbnb. Um, Looks like you could put your art in there, but would find a way to really make it whimsical and almost like someone was stepping into a little enchanted, fairies den for the weekend or the week or however long. So think about that. Okay, I would love to know who walks with me and what they see. Okay, who walks with me and what they see. Okay. I am hearing it's not anyone you think it is. And that, um, speaking of fairies, I love how some of these questions just add on to each other. They are saying that there are fairies around you, and they would like for you to let yourself believe in fairies. And this is so cool. So, what they are seeing is energy and magic in the universe, and they are hang on here. They are seeing the gifts that you have within you. Now, one of the things they're doing is really trying to get you to see. And so, I don't know if you have ever found that you've noticed little twinkling lights, or maybe you've seen a sparkle here, and you look and there's nothing there, but you know you saw some little flash. Those would be fairies starting to show up around you. Um, they also are putting things in your path. So it's not about what they see, it's really about what you see. They would like for you to ask that question yourself when you're on this walk. What am I seeing? Because they're telling me that they put things in front of your feet. They might even trip you. They might put a really big stick or a rock. They're showing me a turtle too for some reason. But they want you to pay attention. And they want you to start seeing what um, we don't often see with the naked eye, but we can see with the naked eye. That's cool. I love that. Okay. All right. Is there a message from Aunt Catherine? Okay, let's see here. Mm-hmm. She is telling me there will be a physical loss this year. You will only need lilies one time. So the message that came for you before with the think three, or there are three losses, I think it was, one does feel physical in that lilies will be necessary. Mm-hmm. She is, hang on here. She wants to gift you with a new book. This is a blank book. She said you are creating a new ancestral story and journey, and the book is already here. Here. So again, this is figuratively and literally. There is a book you are actually working on that feels very important, part of this ancestral healing, and at the same time, it is creating a new book for your ancestral story. So you are changing the story. So both books are important, but they're kind of the same. Hope that makes sense. Or I hope you get it. Might be a little confusing. Okay. Does Leslie's mom want to say anything to her? Okay. Let's see here. Leslie's mom says she wished she would have known about fairies when she was here. She wished she would have been able to teach you about fairies. And she wished she would have taught you to grow up with a belief in magic that is all around you. And she hopes that now you will begin to believe that there is a beautiful unseen world that we exist within that is the same as ours. And she wished she would have known to teach you that. And she hopes that you will be open to her teaching that to you now. She wants to be respectful and not surprise or shock you with moving things around the house, but now that she's been able to make this connection tonight, she sure will. So get ready. And she said thank you in advance. She also wants you to really bring back your sense of humor. She says she has a wonderful sense of humor, and it's you've tuned it down, and she would like for you to bring that back. Okay, is there a message from my mom? Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Well, she said, since we're all on the fairies, no, she's kidding. She's being funny. She said she knows you believe in all of that already. That's sweet. Hang on here. Let me see. She. There's art for you to make. There's something. She is telling me that you're very creative, and there's something about she misses being creative here, and she would like to experience being creative through you. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see here. Hang on here. There is something with playing cards too. She would like for you to play cards, or there's some kind of game she thinks would really help you if you would get out and you would play or start with your friends. I don't know what that's about, what game she played, or what that's about. I don't know if that makes sense. You can let me know if so. But there's some kind of game she wants you to try or do or start again. I don't know what that is. Um, Hopefully that makes sense to you, or you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see here. Is there any message? Is there anything for me? Okay, so for you, what they're telling me, there's so many of us online tonight or joined together tonight that are big thinkers, big ideas. And so one of the things for you is you have lots of ideas, and they would like for you to reel those things in and really narrow your focus. They are telling me to tell you you've got three things, and they would like for you to reprioritize these three things that you focus on. They would like for you to focus on this year your businesses and making your businesses work for you. But there's an order to put them in, one being the biggest revenue generator. I don't know what the others are, but they're telling me there's three. Um, they would put them in order of revenue generating, and they would like for you to focus on those three things. They said they would like for you to make this year about your foundation and how you support yourself here, and they would like for you to take your focus on the personal stuff and put that on the shelf for now. And it's almost like it's been scattered and been all over the place. A little bit of personal, a little bit of work, personal. Anyway, there's a lot. So what they're saying is to bring that all in, focus on three businesses, one in particular that makes the most money, then go to the next, and then to the next. And really put your time and attention and your love there. the people that are meant to be in your life will stay in your life, and they'll support you when you take your focus off of them and put them on the business, if that makes sense. And then your focus on the people in the business will expand because you're putting more of an investment there with your time and energy. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but they're saying for the first 6 months, even 7 months, that's what they would recommend. And you will see a very different ending to this year, almost like they're showing me like with a bag of gold. You know that little money emoji in our cell phones? That's what they're showing. So that's really cool. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's see here. Let me see here. All right, just seeing if anyone out there has a message for me. Okay. Let me see if I got anything else. Okay. This is so much fun. I have to thank y'all for joining me and letting me answer these questions because it is so much fun. Okay, so here's one that got sent in. I'm just seeing if anyone out there has a message for me. Okay. Look at little Binks. For those of you that have a Binks kitty, look at my baby. You know what? He has never really joined me for any of these. So he wants to participate tonight too. That's my Binks. Okay. Is there a message for you? Well, for some reason, I'm just seeing clovers around you, 4-leaf clovers. Now, I don't know if March 14th, St. Patty's Day, is a big deal to you or not, but I would say luck is around you. Whenever I see clovers, I think lucky energy, and that's what I'm hearing. And they are showing it like just clovers all around, like raining down around you, sprinkling down, and they are showering you with lucky energy right now. They would like for you to wake up tomorrow morning and feel lucky. And they want you to even say, today is my lucky day. They would have you say that every day you wake up this week and watch what happens. Mm-hmm. Well, gosh, that's a great question for we can all have fun with. So thank you for asking that. Okay, yeah, big floof. All right, let's see here. Okay, hang on. Ah! All right, I'm losing my way here. What? I'm scrolling down one and scrolling up another. Okay, what does it mean when you look at someone suddenly into their eyes and you see slits like cat eyes or snake eyes? Okay, so going back to some of the first questions about how to develop your intuitive nature, this is a really neat question because we can't always trust what we see with our naked eye, and then sometimes we can't see or trust what we see in our mind's eye, like, and then we think, did I just see cat eyes or snake eyes or those slits, and what is that? And so we doubt what we technically see. So what your guides would say, if you are practicing your intuitive nature, you will get a feeling. And if cat comes to you or snake comes to you, you can think about that for a second, and what do they mean to you? Snakes tend to mean healers. They tend to mean transformation, shedding skin. They can also mean that snake in the grass, look out, be careful. Cats, they're very magical creatures. And cats are the only animal on the planet that can walk between the veil, um, without having to change shape or form. They're very independent. But again, it's what does a cat mean to you? What does a snake mean to you? But more importantly, what do you feel? What do you feel when you see that? They said trust your feelings. Trust your feelings. If something feels off, it's off. Now, if you tend to be paranoid or suspicious about a lot of people, or a lot of things, then maybe you need to work on that a little bit more and practice discernment with your feelings. But ultimately, they said trust what you feel as opposed to what you see. And is it that that person is a snake? Is it that person is a cat? Maybe, maybe not. That is for, if we wanted to get into the talk of other dimensions, we could. However, what they really want is to see energy. We all have animal guides and messengers around us. We all channel different energies. And that may be something your mind, your intuitive mind, has learned how to interpret somebody's energy in an animal form. And so again, it's another way that intuitive language speaks to us. If somebody makes you think of a wolf, or somebody makes you think of a bumblebee, go with that. Trust it. Okay. Great question. All right, so we've got about 10 minutes. I really am trying to keep our sessions on Wednesday to about an hour. So let me just scroll through. My mom is having a procedure tomorrow and I'm concerned. Okay. Let's see here. Well, okay, so your guides said to see if you can let go of that being concerned and instead trust that this is something that she's called forth on her journey. And you want to put positive energy around it and for her and for you, and trust that this is something she is doing either knowingly, consciously, somehow or another her soul has called this procedure forth, and that you have to be open to what that means for her without any judgment, without any fear or worries. So, have you ever heard that kind of like, if you have an idea, don't tell anybody, or only tell somebody that you know is going to really be supportive? It's because you don't want to take this idea and surround it with people's negative opinions and fears and worries, because we're all projecting, and it's kind of the same thing. Your mom's having this procedure, and so you don't want to shoot anything negative or fearful or worrisome around it. And and so what you want to do is step back from that and go, okay, I'm sending love around that. I'm sending, trust for her journey. And I'm not going to put my own fears and worries around her experience, because this is her experience. And I love her for making that decision and being clear about what she wants. And I can totally support her on that. Whether I would do the procedure or not doesn't matter. And that's the best thing you could do. And what you'll find is you've put better energy around it and you've eliminated your fear and your concern. Okay. The hawk is back. That's awesome. What do the guides say about people judging? Ooh, how much time do we have for that one? Okay. Well, judge is, so we all have different personalities within us. And the judge is one that is in all of us. And and it serves us. Sometimes we judge whether, this food is going to be good for us or not, or this road to take is good for us or not, or we have to use that judging nature of ours to determine what's in our highest and best interest. So when the judge doesn't serve us is when we start labeling people, judging people as good or bad or this and that. And it kind of, what we need to understand about judging is people that overjudge, or people that they are living from their ego, they are living from the fear place in their mind. They are not coming from a heart-centered place of connection to the divine. And so when someone is judging you, what you could do is just send love to them, because that's what they need. And just imagine their heart growing, or imagine that you're sending this is funny. Your guide said green light from your heart to theirs. You know, green is the color of envy, and oftentimes that's why people judge. And so just send that green light right back to them. But the green is also the color of healing. It's a color of fresh growth, of springtime. You know, new beginnings. It really is a wonderful color. It's nature. And they said, just imagine sending from your heart to theirs, whatever color. If it's pink, if it's red, hey pinks. If it's more green, because that's what they need. They need more heart energy. And you know what? When they start judging, just say, I love you. You know, thanks for sharing that. You know, I love you. Or just say, I love you, and leave it at that. Walk away. And don't take it personally. Whatever you do, just let it go. Don't take it personally. It's not yours to carry. You know, people that judge, it's heavy. They got some heaviness that they're carrying around, and you know, they're distracting themselves from it. So that's all that is. Okay. All right. Now I looked. Somebody said they sent me a private message, and I looked, but I didn't see it. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on here. Unless there's another one. Give me a second. Go over here. Okay, one more. I got it. My oldest has been struggling with stomach issues. Is this something we need to investigate further, or is it anxiety? Okay. I am hearing to investigate further. It is anxiety that has, I would say, be the root cause of it, but it does look like it's manifested into something. I don't know if I would say it's an ulcer, or if it's starting to affect like the colon, as in colitis or something like that. But it does look like medical attention could be really helpful, and that's the only reason I'm saying to look into it further, because it just looks like you could find help, and to soften that. Now, one of the things that I'm hearing, I don't know if you use aromatherapy, but lavender is really wonderful to spray on the pillows, to counteract anxiety or anxiousness. And then peppermint is really great to rub on the tummy, um, lower back, but even in the front on that tummy. You could even just, you know, take a little, well, peppermint tea is great, but if you won't do peppermint tea, candy, gum, anything like that can help. Um, that is just to alleviate some of the symptoms, but it does look like you can find help for that. So I would have that looked at further. Okay. Okay. Well, this has been fabulous. Once again, the questions are just awesome. And I'm going to draw our two angel cards for the week. Let's see here. Okay. All right, I'm not looking. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, of course, tenderness. Look at with her and her kitty. And who needs some tenderness today? I would say all of us and everybody in our lives. Okay, and the other, surrender. Wave the white flag. Put things down. Don't carry them. And just let things go. Isn't that great? Okay, surrender and tenderness. Y'all have a beautiful week. And from the guides, they want to remind you your dreams from childhood, from yesterday, that they have sprinkled blessings on your dreams. and they have been supercharged. And so now your work is to believe. Okay? I can't wait to hear what happens. All right. Love all of you guys. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next week. Okay. Blessings, blessings, magic, magic.